Hello everybody and welcome to today's tropical update. In today's update we're going to be primarily focusing on the Eastern Pacific, more specifically Tropical Storm Cristina. But before we take a look at that, we're going to take a look at these two disturbances first. Here's disturbance number one. This has a 20% in the next 48 hours and 30% in the next 5 days. It is an elongated area of low pressure, located about 1,000 miles southwest of the southern tip of the Baja California Peninsula, that is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development of this system is possible over the next few days while it drifts generally northward. By late this week, environmental conditions are expected to become unfavorable for a farther development. I do not expect this to become anything. That is my opinion. Here's the other one. This is in an area of low pressure that is forecast to form south of the Gulf of Tehuantepec. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Late this week, environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for subsequent gradual development this weekend, while the system moves westward well south of the coast of Mexico. The formation chance is low, with near 0% in 48 hours and 30% chance in the next 5 days. This is our main focus right here though, Tropical Storm Cristina. This is as advisory 4 of the storm as of 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time or 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This has maximum sustained winds of 35 knots or 40 miles an hour. Minimal central pressure is 1,005 millibars. It is located at 12.2 north, 102.8 west, and the movement is west-northwest at 11 knots or 13 miles an hour. I do believe that this will become our first hurricane in any of the basins here near the Americas. And I'm going to show you guys here why in just a few moments. But first, we're going to go back to the home page here so I can get to the advisory packages. It says Christina forecast to become a hurricane in the next day or two. There is going to be some rapid intensification with the system as we go forward. And I do believe that maybe even, by this time tomorrow, we could see a hurricane on our hands. Here's the public advisory for the storm. Its movement is west-northwest or 295 degrees for all you compass lovers. And here's all of the details here. Maximum sustained winds are near 40 miles per hour with higher gusts. Strengthening is anticipated and Cristiana is forecast to become a hurricane in the next day or two. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 35 miles from the center. So this is a really small storm at the moment. As this starts to ramp up more, this is definitely going to start growing in size, as we may see our first major hurricane. In my opinion, I think it might become a major hurricane. I'll show you why with one of these models up here. And the pressure, as it says, 1,005 millibars. Here's a forecast discussion. Here we're mostly going to be looking here at the forecast position and max winds. As you can see, from initially it's 40 miles per hour, then we go 36 miles, 36 hours, and it goes up 35 miles per hour. That, my friends, is rapid intensification, right in there. And it goes on to rapidly intensify some more, going into the 60-hour mark. So, I usually go about 5 or 10 miles per hour over what the National Hurricane Center says. It just depends on how the storm is looking. And right now I'm going with 10 more miles per hour more than the National Hurricane Center. So I'm putting this as going into the Category 3 first major hurricane of either the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific Basin. So that is my opinion. We'll see how it pans out. Anything can happen with a rapidly intensifying storm. Alright, here is the National Hurricane Center cone here. And as you can see, it's forecast to stay off land. It's not going to affect anybody directly. You may get some swells here on the coast of Mexico and the Baja California peninsula, but besides that, you shouldn't get any winds, you shouldn't get any rains. It's just mostly surf for all you surfers out there. Now this is what I want to put your eyes to here. As you can see, most of these models take it up to a Category 1 at the very least. At the very least. Then you can see the UKX2 here, which keeps it at a sad storm. But then you look at these two models right in here. They want to take this up to Category 3, and one wants to take it up to almost a Category 4. This is why I'm not going to count out a Category 3 happening at this current point in time. Because a Category 3 could easily happen with a rapidly intensifying storm. We just don't know. We don't know how much it's going to grow with that rapid intensification. So that's why I'm keeping Category 3 on the table at this current point in time. So we're going to take a look at the visibles here. And as you can see, storms are starting to wrap around the center here. So it's trying to organize some more here. As you can see, there's some outflow here to the west side, and there's some outflow here on the south side. So it's looking like a pretty good looking storm at the moment. As you can see here, there is some convection power popping up on the northeast side too, which I think is trying to form a outflow channel for the east side as well. So this is all signs of a very healthy and organized system, and a strengthening system at that. So this is going to be a fun storm to track here as we go out in time, because we're going to see our first hurricane of the season, and this is what we track for. We live and breathe to track hurricanes, and the hurricanes are one of the most beautiful things in Mother Nature. Unless it hits somebody, then it's not really beautiful anymore. But you know, just tracking these things is worthwhile and waiting for to happen. Anyways, I was getting off topic there, but as you see, it is a healthy system here. So we'll see what happens going forward here. All right, now we're gonna look at the GFS here. And as you can see, it's at 1,002 millibars, which is kind of right and kind of wrong. It's at 1,005 millibars, but I'm not gonna complain much because it shows a tropical storm, and we're at a tropical storm right now. So we're gonna go out at least 5 days with this system. So here we go. There's 24 hours out, and that's a borderline hurricane. Once you get down to the low 990s going into the high 980s, that's when it starts to transition into a Category 1 hurricane. And as you can see, 48 hours out, it really ramps up. Like really ramps up. 976 is easily a Category 2 hurricane. And as you can see, that the isotherms, the isobars, are really tightly wrapped around this system here. So that just shows that intensification is rapidly happening at this point in time in the GFS. 72 hours out, 3 days out. That, my friends, is a Category 3 hurricane. It has to be. Like, there's nothing to it now. That is a Category 3 hurricane. Then we go 96 hours, so it starts to weaken just a little bit because now it's starting to go into cooler waters here of the northeastern Pacific here. And we're going to go out farther here, 120, and it's still keeping its hurricane status here. So this is gonna, the ACE, accumulated ACE right now in the Eastern Pacific is only 0.5, and we're already a month and a half going on to almost 2 months into the season. That's pretty much unheard of. We've only had 2 named storms, Amanda and Boris. Now we're gonna add to that with Christina here. So this should bring the ACE up pretty nicely here. So maybe the one storm will help catch up with the rest of the season, you know. So with that, we also got another area of disturbed weather here going into 5 days out, 1,006 millibars, which is the tropical storm. But we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, we're focused on Christina. Now we're going to take a look at the GFS pair right here. So here is our system right here. It's pretty much in line with what the National Hurricane Center says. It's at 1,005 millibars, and this says 1,004 millibars. So once again, we're going to go out 5 days. There's 24 hours, and it looks like it keeps about the same, you know, keeping it at about 40-45 miles an hour, probably. And here's 48 hours, and that's when it starts to ramp up a little bit. This is borderline hurricane right here. You can see that the isotherms really bundle it up here for this storm. And just look at that. Look at that. In the course of 6 hours, it drops so much in 6 hours. That is a Category 2 hurricane now, in just 6 hours. That's why the weather is amazing, guys. This is what I love to do, and just to see this right here, just the rapid change of environments here is what I live for. And it looks like it tops out at about 969 millibars, which, no, even that's a Category 3 hurricane. No, okay, maybe it doesn't top out at 966. It looks like it tops out at 961, which still is a Category 3 hurricane. So this is about 90 hours out, and then it starts to weaken in between those times. So it's the GFS para is pretty much in line with the GFS operational, but it rapidly kicks in at one of the 6 hour intervals. Alright, with that, I want to take a look at the European model and see what that has to say now. Alright, we're going to go back to here, 0. So this is our system right in here. This is Christina. And you can tell by the way these wind barbs are rotating around itself. So there's 24 hours. It's still keeping about the same intensity, I would think. 48 hours, it starts to bundle up a little bit more. 72 hours, now it's really getting somewhere. 96 hours, that's probably a hurricane. 120, that is it's probably a Category 2 hurricane. So with this being said, I do predict this to be a major hurricane. That's my predictions, and I'm probably going to be sticking to them. We're just going to have to see what happens in the future. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching today's update, and I will see you guys later. Have a nice day.